Hey again, guys. Thanks for checking this video out as well. This video I'm going to focus on discussing the drum and rhythm and why I've chosen drumming as my main component when it comes to sound healing. And this comes down to, again, a personal experience situation. But with the drum, we're discussing the most primal and ancient of instruments. I mean, beyond the voice, the drum has been around since the beginning. It's just been that instrument where beings were able to use it for celebration, for ceremony, but as the knowledge progressed, the element of healing and consciousness expansion became prevalent through this experience. Now, we're at a time where we can take this knowledge and we can apply it in multiple ways, and to each their own. For me, besides being a musician, I'm using sound to connect with others and use this language, which sound, it's a language, and through frequencies and rhythms and these vibrations, we have a much bigger game here that we can become a part of and aware of and play with and use. So drumming has become the tool of tools for me. I've been on a drum for the past 8 years of my life. It's taught me so much. I've learned many, many, many things while on a drum. It all begins with the heart and the heartbeat. And that's why you hear the reference for the drum is the heartbeat of Mother Earth, the being itself. And when you play the drum, you're connecting to your heart. That is true. That's where it starts. Right now, we're going through a time where we need to open our hearts. We need to start living in our hearts again. We need to become heart-centered if we are to make the transition and evolve ourselves out of these ruts we have. So it's a beautiful thing when you're using these things like sound as a teacher and a healing tool. You come across the drum. And now the drum is a tool where, as simple as it seems and looks, it gives you a direct means of communication with the divine. And by this, I mean the ability to let go and use rhythm and use sound in a way that it plays your body, you connect to a higher source, and you let go of the stuff that you're holding on to right now that you really shouldn't. If you live from heart space, those things don't bother you as much. So find your heart space. And besides a better breathing practice, some meditative practice, I say get a drum. Get on a drum and start playing. See what happens. Beautiful things happen. If you're a musician, of course, it makes a little bit more sense probably, this concept. If you're not, you're still wondering, okay, it sounds good, but can you give me a little bit more understanding of why I'd want to experience this? Okay. The scientific part of this has to do with, the tempo and the binaural beat aspect of what you're doing here. And I'd say when a shaman is doing their practice, okay, and they're doing a beat that's maintains a tempo, a constant tempo. Now doing that for 10, 20, 30 minutes, to some it can be like monotonous. To one who's attuned and has allowed themselves to step away from the head and let your heart decide what's going on here, they just open up a channel for a deeper connection, a deeper communication. It is a healing tool because the sound, if you use these frequencies, as I've talked about, you're healing your body. You're reawakening your DNA in ways where you're able to push off these negative frequencies and reopen for a channel for all these beautiful frequencies that surround us. So they were using drumming and its multiple capacity for this. With the tuning forks, there's certain frequencies that you're using. Okay. With drumming, that range is available to you. The range of frequencies available from the working down here to up here. Then you got two hands. So all of a sudden, there's a binaural effect going on. There's a constant rhythm. There's a polyrhythmic effect, where the tribal cultures used this because they knew what it was doing. It was creating a connection in the hemispheres of the brain. It was building a BPM in the heartbeat that would allow a more powerful breath, that would lead to a more powerful intake of, let's say, prana. Maybe they weren't so deliberate on the prana term, but they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were opening up to with this rhythm and this power of sound. So where I'm going with this is that I would like to share with you the same experience that these other beings are sharing all over the world and have been sharing. We're now in a culture that celebrates sound for its spiritual potential. And it's understandable. It's not necessarily a marketable thing, but it's a very divine thing. It's a very true thing. When understanding rhythm, when understanding frequencies, when understanding how to connect to source while you experience this, whether you're the musician, the shaman, or if you're the one experiencing it and meditating and relaxing back and letting this sound play through you, it's going to have the same effect. You're starting to pick up on the same vibrations of what's available there. So I want you to come here and maybe experience something that, you might not experience every day. I'm sure you're not, because people are not looking into these things like they should yet. And, work on your meditation, work on your breathing, and let me use this drum to communicate with your spirit, to let you communicate with your spirit, to let you communicate with the world around you. These sounds and these frequencies and these rhythms that I'm working with and I'm sharing with you are no different than what's available to you without my presence. This is my purpose here, is to share this information and experience with you, because I know the power of sound. And rhythm can take you to tremendous highs of awareness and love and joy. And go to a drum circle. Experience that vibe there. Don't let it be visual. Close your eyes and take in what's going on there. Look at the peace that takes over the people that are in that drum circle while they're a part of it. Look at the spontaneity that comes out of the kids and the women and the dogs when they're dancing or hearing this music. There's something beautiful going on here. And with the drum, I find the most amazing tool to communicate with anybody. There is no language with the drum. Any culture, any race, we don't have to share a single word in English. And I guarantee you will feel my heart through the drum that I play for you. That is why I'm using the drum as a sound healing tool. Not just to play rhythms for people because I want to play some drums, but to connect with you, to give you a chance to experience sound on a cosmic level, from a heart space level. I'll share one more thing with you, a little extra couple seconds of going up and down on this thing and the different effect it might have. So close your eyes, listen to this for a little bit, and see what it does. that's just me maintaining a tempo, me giving it some variation of sounds for that frequency effect. So there's cross frequencies that are created. There's a centering that happens in the hemispheres through that consistency. And depending on the tempo that I use, that's the frequency level. We can work with a lower tempo, or we can work for the higher tempos. These are things that will be decided on once I'm working with you and such. But in the meantime, check out a couple of the other drum videos I have showing an example of what I would do. And just do your own research. You don't have to trust what I say. I don't ask you to. I just ask you to open your hearts and to ask your heart, how does that feel about anything that was said here? And if it's still got some question marks, then by all means, go look for yourself. Do the research. You'll find that what you knew was probably pretty good, but what you're going to know later will be a little bit better. The sound, my friends, can change your life.